Hello and welcome to Minecraft Levitated. So in the last episode, we did get ourselves a nether portal, and we have done some work over in the nether portal, or in the nether, rather, spawning in different chunks and things like that. We have done some mining. We did get ourselves some lava here. We got 13 buckets worth. I also have a reservoir that has got 10 buckets worth of lava. You can see we changed up our storage room ever so slightly. I did add in some more compacting drawers and some more drawers, as well as a few over here for things like nether brick, nether rack, magma blocks. We've got nether quartz, we've got silver ore, or silver rather, we've got aluminum, and then we did get some charged Certus quartz, and we have some glowstone. We also have some manulin here. We have Ardite up here, and we have cobalt right here. So these are some ores that can be found in the nether. Cobalt is found at the top of the nether. Ardite is found at the bottom of the nether. If we take 2 ingots, one of each, and put it in an alloy furnace, it will give us this manulin here. So I did do a bunch of mining so we could have a little bit of nether quartz. We could have some of this Certus quartz here, and all kinds of things. And we did unlock a new advancements page, and we have done one quest, which is getting a blaze rod, and we actually got this from our trials that we did in our simulation chamber. And today what I'd like to work on is a few different things, but namely this altar of life right here, a summoning altar. So if we look at this thing right here, we can utilize this to spawn in pigs, we can spawn in chickens, we can spawn in cows, sheep, we can spawn in a villager, a blue slime, blitz, and basals. So this thing right here is going to allow us to get the stuff that we need to make the cake, which is egg and milk. The other quest that I want to do is this one right here that says zombie pigmen will no longer drop gold, nuggets, or ingots, but they do drop a piece of rotten pork very rarely, which can be used in the summoning ritual to summon pigs. We're not necessarily after pigs, but it is a quest. We do want to complete the page. This one is almost complete. We just have this one quest here. So to do this, we need to kill a bunch of zombie pigmen. Now let's go ahead and look at the crafting recipe for the summoning altar. It's kind of rough looking to begin with, but let's break it down. We've got a block of Certus quartz, which is just 4 Certus quartz like that. We've got a block of quartz, which we all know is just quartz like that. We have a block of silver, which is 9 silver ingots, no problem. These 3 things we already have. Manulin, I told you guys, was a combination of Ardite and cobalt in the alloy furnace. We have that. This animated torch is just a mana powder and a redstone torch. Fairly easy. Solarium ingots is where things gets a little interesting. It is just an alloy between soul sand and gold. I don't have any soul sand. I've spawned in quite a few chunks and haven't found any yet. But thankfully we can technically craft soul sand with sand and hellish matter. And we can actually craft hellish matter with overworldian matter and netherrack. Going back to the crafting recipe here, we have this Voodoo Poppet. Now this thing is some basic stuff like a string, a dead bush, leather, and clay, but we also need the Graves Dust. This Graves Dust, it doesn't tell you, but we get this from killing zombie pigmen. So, we need to kill some zombie pigmen. Now, one thing that you can do that's neat in this pack is you can craft up a zombie data module. If you go into the nether and you start killing zombie pigmen, this will tick up. That's why it says the upper left hand corner up here, it says 5 to go. And you know, I don't know how I feel about that. One zombie is as good as any zombie. Zombie pigmen, regular zombie, zombie villager, they're all the same to me. That's a little bit of zombie profiling. Anyway, we're gonna go to the nether. We're gonna kill ourselves a bunch of zombie pigmen so we can tick this up, and then we're gonna run the zombie module through the simulation chamber so that we can get ourselves some overworldian matter, because we also need overworldian matter for this rune for this spider eye right here. We have everything else except for this, so it's kind of killing 3 birds with 1 stone. So let's go over to the nether. So as soon as we spawn in, you guys could see that I spawned in quite a few chunks all the way down. And gassed. So we did do this little guy right here, where we dug down through the center of the nether fortress. And I did it this way so that we could avoid the lava, but I also have a little landing pad down here where I was collecting lava. And we rolled down here because I was mining out a bunch of iridite. And if we go down here, you guys will see that we have quite a bit of pigmen spawning in this area, as well as over here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to dig out the rest of this area here, and then we're going to block ourselves in this little area with some half slabs, and aggro these guys, and then just kill ourselves a bunch of zombie pigmen. And it looks like this thing is broken, so we're going to need to go repair this and grab some slabs, but then we can kill these guys and get some graves dust, and they'll also drop some rotten flesh for us, which, if we look that up, we can hang rotten flesh on a drying rack. Uses. And it will make this monster jerky, which is what I'm eating right now. It's a little bit better than apples, but yeah. And this guy right here is what we're kind of after, so that we can spawn in some pigs, even though we're not going to do that. Alright, so we did get our data module here to a self-aware tier. And if we look in here, we'll take this guy out, and we'll throw the zombie data module in, and we'll throw some polymer clay, and we'll let this run through some iterations. Now, this costs 256 RF per tick, where this cost 150, so hopefully our power situation holds. But regardless if this fails or succeeds on the pristine procurement, we will get the overworldian matter. Now, if we look at the pristine zombie matter, we can utilize this pretty nicely. We can make more rotten flesh, we can make carrots, we can make potatoes, but more importantly, we can make iron ingots. So this is going to be a nice thing to run through, and we're going to get some overworldian matter. I'm going to let this run through so we get about a stack of that. Meanwhile, we are smelting up some grout. If we look at grout, it is simply sand, gravel, and clay. This is making the seared bricks, which will actually make the seared bricks. It's kind of like another recipe if we were to craft it. You can see here. But there are a bunch of different things that we need to make. If you watched Sky Factory 4, we need to make ourselves a smeltery so that we can get some better tools. This sword is decent. It has an 8.5 attack, but we can make it even better. So we're smelting up a little bit of that. Now, while all of that is smelting up, actually, we're going to leave that in there. There's one thing that I would like to do, and that is I would like to make a cobblestone generator. We have cobblestone here. We have 929 of it, but I would like more. So if we look up cobble, there is no cobblestone generator block like there was in Sky Factory 4. But however, we do have this guy right here, this mining upgrade, which will allow us to use transfer node and transfer pipes to mine, just a generic cobblestone gen. This guy requires a golden pickaxe and an upgrade base. This upgrade base is made in a resonator. So we need to make this resonator, and it's not too bad. Redstone alloy ingots are simply redstone and silicone in our alloy smelter. Electrum is silver in gold inside of an alloy smelter as well. The tricky part for us was this constantan, which is copper and nickel in an alloy smelter. Copper we have, nickel not so much. Started going through the rabbit hole of looking, and I eventually found this nether nickel ore, which if we look at the world gen has a 0.3% at 13, or Y level 13. And so that's the best % chance we have of getting this. I spawned in a bunch of stuff and did not find this. So clicking through a bunch more of this stuff, primarily this nickel dust, I did find out that you can get it in a byproduct of taking iron ore and running it through the sag mill at a 10% chance. So we did get just enough nickel to actually craft some constantan, and inside here I should have everything that we need to make ourselves the resonator. Aside from the magma block, which we have. Nice. Now, you need grid power for extra utilities too, and there are a ton of mills that will produce grid power. We have the lava mill, we have the water mill, we have the wind mill, we have a fire mill, a dragon egg mill, and then a manual mill. Now, all of these tell you 4 grid power. This one will give 1, 4, 15, and then 500. We don't have any of the things to make all of this stuff, but we can make this manual mill here. We have all the stuff that we need. Also, just to note, I did capture a chicken, which I guess has despawned. I did find a chicken jockey in the nether. He despawned. Oh well. So let's set this guy up. Now the manual mill you can place anywhere in the world, but for ease of access I'm going to place this guy here. That is weird. And we're going to put this guy in here. Now it needs 8 grid power, and basically you just need to right click this thing until we have 8 grid power, and then it should change it into an upgrade base. A little bit more. Boom. See, it goes down to 0, and we have an upgrade base. Nice. And we're going to take this upgrade base and our golden pickaxe, and we now have our mining upgrade. So let us go over to a little bit of an area that I have dug out back over here. Just around the corner here. Down here. We're going to make ourselves a little skyblock, typical cobblestone generator. Placing in water over there. Placing in lava over here. It will make us cobblestone right here. So if we take our transfer node, place it here, take some transfer pipe, and pipe it up like so. I did make this controller slave, which acts like a drawer controller. We can pump items into it. And we go ahead and put this mining upgrade in it. It should start to mine cobblestone for us ever so slowly. Doesn't need grid power. But nothing is happening. Well, shoot. I'm gonna have to do some figuring here. Yeah, we don't need grid power, that's why that manual mill is still saying 0 when we spin it. This should work. Interesting. Could make some of these guys, but these do require 1 grid power per. Huh. Interesting. Well, I don't really know why this wouldn't mine the cobblestone, so we did go ahead and just make this miner here, and a sound muffler. This is to dampen the noise that's being made. A sound muffler is just a note block, which vanilla Minecraft, we know how to make those, and then a piece of wool. The miner, I've made before. It's called a mechanical miner. It's a dropper, a iron pickaxe, and then a resonating redstone crystal. And this thing is going and working well. Now, I did also go AFK for a bit. I went back into the nether, got another chicken. This time I named him. His name is Frank. This is Frank the chicken. Hello. And we're collecting eggs. So that's nice. We got a fair few there, and I think we have quite a bit of cobblestone. 21,000. Yeah. Nice. So we have everything that we need to craft up this summoning altar. I did craft up some solarium, and I didn't pay attention. It actually made 4 soul sand per little craft using the overworldian matter. The other thing that we can do is craft ourselves this spider eye with an apple, a rotten flesh, and a red mushroom? Do I have red mushrooms? I do not. So we'll have to craft that up. I think the red mushroom isn't going to be too bad. It's just this mushroom in there, so we'll need to grow our brown mushroom. No big deal. But let's go ahead and finally craft up this summoning altar. So we have all of the things for the Voodoo Poppet, except 2 pieces of clay, which we have now. Perfect. I did make the animated torch. And we have all of the blocks. We have the solarium. We have the manulin. And boom. Quest complete. Craft a summoning altar. So we're just going to put this outside. Like that. And if we look up the uses, we're after ourselves a cow. So we need 2 leather, 2 wheat, 1 monster jerky, 1 organic brown dye, and a bucket of blood. Now this is going to be the thing that we really need to get. The organic black dye we can get from twigs and pruning. And that we can get from a bunch of dead bushes. And let's see, it's made with a slime ball or an egg to get the brown dye. Slime ball's better. Okay. I did get myself some dead bushes, and we have a little bit of slime. Where do I have more? I guess this is all I've got, so we'll take 1. And we'll go ahead and get this kind of going. And whilst that runs, we are going to look at what we need for that bucket of blood. So this doesn't have the recipe up here. It shows a fluid tank and it shows a fluid transposer, but I know for a fact that we can make blood in a tinker's smeltery. So that's what we're going to do. I have a bunch of seared bricks here, so we're going to make a few things. We're going to make a Smeltery Controller. We're going to make a smeltery tank. We are going to make ourselves 2 smeltery drains. We're going to make ourselves a casting table. And we are going to make ourselves a faucet. And then we need to make ourselves a bunch of just regular seared bricks. And we'll go ahead and make a few more. I think we'll start off with all of that. Hopefully that is enough to make what we want to make. Alright, how's this guy doing? these are done. So we can put those and this in there. Yeah, anyway, we're gonna make a little smeltery. So what we need to do is we need to place down a few blocks like that. A few like that. That's not what I wanted to do, but that guy and that guy. Oh, these are now cracked. That's okay. Let's grab all of these pieces and parts. I'm gonna need a little bit more in the way of parts, but we're gonna put the controller here, the tank here, and that is a smeltery complete. I do need to get 3, 6, 9 more blocks. I'm not sure if I can use these or not, but this, I think this is going to look cool sitting here embedded. And now that we have access to lava, we can actually utilize this smeltery, and we can start smelting up a bunch of different things. We're going to have to maybe try an egg here, but I'm going to need to get a little bit more grout and finish building this. So we can put like, let's just look at knife blades. We can start making these different knife blades, like energetic knife blades or manulin. We can make molten manulin, we can make the knife blade cast, and we can really upgrade our stuff. We're not going to do that on camera today, but we will be doing that off camera. So let me do some messing around and get a little bit of a smeltery going. I know of 2 different ways that we can get blood in the smeltery. I believe that we can just throw rotten flesh in here, and that gets us a little bit of blood. And what we need is 1,000 millibuckets. And that's 1 bucket right there. Or what you could have done is we could have smelted down some kind of metal in here, and that would have allowed us to jump in there ourselves, and we could have filled it with our person and got blood in it that way. So I did go ahead and make a mushroom, and then we grew a tall mushroom. We went ahead and chopped that down. We got ourselves the red mushroom that we need. And let's grab a bucket. And the organic black dye, where I was messing up, is we needed 12 of these and 1 slime ball, or we needed like 6 of these and 1 egg in there for it to work. It wasn't a 1-for-1 recipe. So if we put the bucket there, and then we right click on the faucet, we should be able to pour this guy out. And what else do we need? I need 2 pieces of wheat. There's our bucket of blood. And I went ahead and made a little bit more in the way of monster jerky, just so we have it. And let's see. Need 2 of those. And then this guy here. This guy here allows us to pick entities up. And we made these a long time ago. These have to be crafted in a regular crafting table. 4 gold nuggets, 4 string, 8 experience. Pretty easy to do. But let's see now. We should need the wheat, the blood, 1 monster jerky, and the organic brown dye. Actually, I think I messed that up. Yep. Let's try it in sequential order. So that, and then... I don't know. I don't know. Okay, yeah. So what we needed to do is we needed to place in, let's go over to the cow. We needed to place in the leather, the wheat, the bucket of blood, and then the brown dye. And this right here is the catalyst that we shift right click on the summoning altar. So after we right clicked all of these items on, we hit it with the monster jerky and we got ourselves a cow. Nice. Now we need to get some stuff to set this guy up so we can milk it. And I do believe that consumed my bucket. So we'll make it another one. You know what? We're gonna just do like that, and we're just gonna hold this cow in here for now. So we should be able to make a cake now. Some wheat, some eggs. Let's see, do we have 1, 2, 3? Some sugar. Looks like we have enough of that. We've got an egg. We should have all of the ingredients. We've got the spider eye. Now I should have everything to make this rune. Perfect. One last little thing for our rune here is we need snow. So you can do that by placing water around a pure daisy, and this will turn into a snow block. Then you can mine it, craft the snowballs up. But looking through JEI here, we could duplicate our snow using this conjuration catalyst. So we need some elementium, some pixie dust. We know how to make all of that. We need another alchemy catalyst, so that's some mana pearls, some gold, and some brewing stands. And I think we're going to do that because there was a few recipes that I saw that would require us to... Oh, I don't have any. Okay, so we'll grab one of you. And we'll grab some of you. We're going to grab some more stone so we can make some more living rock. And yeah, we're going to look through all of our stuff. I know I have some more brewing stands. Here we go. We're going to need, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the elementium. And then we're going to need one more mana pearl. And this should be everything that we need to make ourselves that conjuration catalyst. I think we can utilize it also in the duplication of things like coal and nether quartz and possibly glowstone. So yeah, we're gonna do the thing. We're gonna throw one of you to get the pixie dust, and we're gonna throw the 6 of you to get the 3 elementium that we need. And aside from some living rock, we should have everything that we need to make this guy. And like I said, we're just missing one little piece of living wood. And we're going to place this underneath probably this or this mana pool over here, so that we can duplicate things like this and glowstone. We can turn this into 4 if we use the mana pool, or we can turn 1 dust into 2 utilizing this conjuration tablet. So it's all going to work out for us. There's the last piece of living rock we need. Boom, boom, nice. Nice, nice, nice. And by now we should have our last piece of snow. And hopefully... yeah, we'll have to just get some more of the grass, but let's go look. Excellent. And that should be 2 snow. So 2 snow, 1 cake, 1 white wool. And all of these runes here will finally get us the rune of winter. Perfect. And we'll let that thing do its thing. Whilst we do that, we will go get another piece of the vivid grass to replace this here. Excellent. Rune of winter done. Take these pieces of armor off. Terrasteel boots, got. Terrasteel leggings, got. Oh yeah. Look at me now. We are Terrasteel armored up. Eating monster jerky. So, as I said before, that was kind of the biggest plan today to get to the armor. We've done quite a few different things. We've started getting our storage room bigger and better. We did get quite a bit of cobblestone set up. We've got Frank out here crunching some eggs for us. This way we can get some more chickens and definitely look at a better food source. We made our smeltery over there, kind of hidden. What else did we do? We messed around a little bit with a grid power here. I did put this guy up, the drying basin. And the reason for that is to make... you could take rotten flesh and put it in there and make leather a lot easier than what we could do before. We can also make dead bushes a little bit easier. And we went into the nether. We got a zombie data module. Ooh, speaking of which, right here at the tail end of things. We could get more rotten flesh. We can get iron. We can get carrots. And we can get potatoes from this. So that's neat. I'm not sure what I want to do yet. But yeah, that is going to do it for today's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We're going to back away from the nether portal. If you did, be sure to leave a like down below. Check the description for all of the different ways to follow me, including Twitter and my Discord. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day I will see you on the next one.